Looks and sounds great, right? Open your cupboard of spices and dreams, because today we're making juicy spiced Keema Matar. This is mince, but with a difference. I'm Lewis, and this is No Forks Given. Let's get at it. Start by dicing 2 large onions or 3 small ones and heat 2 tablespoons of oil in a pan. Now the oil is heated, I'm going to do what's known as tempering the oil. So I'm going to be adding a bay leaf, cinnamon stick, a couple of dried red chillies, 3 cardamom pods, and a couple of cloves. To that we add our onion. Really important that you don't rush this part of the onion cooking. Often people make a curry and they just rush it, but a lot of the flavour comes from the caramelisation of the onions. So I'd give it a good 15 minutes at least before you move on to the next step, depending obviously on how high you're cooking it. Mine's on a medium to high heat. You really want to start seeing these begin to golden before moving on to the next step. Once your onions are at this stage, add the 4 cloves of garlic and a decent thumb-sized piece of ginger. And stir that through. Cook out the rawness of the garlic and the ginger. You can cheat by using these pre-minced versions, probably around about a minute or 2. Push the onions to one side and then we're going to introduce our mince. I'm using lamb. Try not to crowd the pan too much because you don't want the lamb to steam, you want it to cook. So to this now I'm going to add the spices. I'm going to go in with 2 green chillies, a teaspoon of red chilli powder, 1 heaped teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric, and 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, generous ones. 1 teaspoon of salt. If you find yourself getting value from this video, please like and consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. You just want to make sure that you don't burn the spices. And if your pan's getting too hot, you can always add a splash of water. Add half a tin of chopped tomato. Now we're going to let the meat cook and tenderize a little bit. To that I'm going to add about half a glass of water. We don't want it swimming in water. We just want to barely cover the meat or the pan. At this stage, pop a lid on and let it cook for 15 minutes. So while the lamb's cooking, I'm going to show you how to make a dead simple red onion salad to serve on top of it. I'm taking a mandolin, I'm going to just cut through about half a red onion. You can finely slice it if you like. Pop that in a bowl, squeeze over half the lemon juice. To that I'm going to be adding a generous pinch of salt, which is what draws out the moisture. And then we're going to just ruffle it up with our fingers. There you go. And you let that sit, and by the time the lamb's ready to eat, and a lot of the rawness of it would have been taken out. There's a deep, rich flavour at the bottom of the pan, so make sure you scrape it up and use the water to deglaze it. You see, we kept most of the moisture because I had the lid on. There will be a time when I take the lid off, because I prefer my Keema Matar to be slightly drier. Lamb's had 15 to 20 minutes cooking with the lid on. I'm now going to take the lid off and add my frozen peas. Get a knife and run it through a bunch of coriander, probably a generous handful. Cook that for another 10 minutes. Some mango chutney on the side and some lime pickle. You can serve this with rice, it's a heavier based dish, or just with some bread for a lighter lunch. Dollop of yogurt over the centre. Throw on some of our red onion salad. Squeeze over a little bit of lemon juice. So if you're wondering what kind of dessert goes well with this meal, check out the link up here where I'll show you how to make a chai spice infused custard pie. Bit of a tongue twister. Let me know how you choose to serve yours in the comments below. And as always, the ingredients are in the description. Unreal.